3.5 years ago, the marketing department with athletics approached us about the possibility of working together, where athletics could show their concern and commitment to conservation and to Iowa birds of prey, because we are the Hawkeyes. So we really got excited about that to really begin that. And then having Ryan and Holly on staff here, who are master falconers, perfect people to lead this initiative of taking these birds to serve as our Raptor Ambassador program team.
What got me started in working with birds of prey was that I discovered falconry in about 2011. And so from there, I became an apprentice falconer and was an apprentice for 2 years and worked with birds of prey during that time. And then I became a general falconer, and now I'm a master falconer. So that's kind of the progression. So yeah, I've always loved birds my entire life. And so when I discovered falconry, it was really exciting to me, because I thought, wow, I get to work with a bird of prey, and that's possible.
So I've been at the Iowa Raptor Project for just over a year now. I'm a master falconer. I've been a falconer for about 10 years. And that's one of the requirements for being here is you have to be either a master rehabber or a master falconer to hold all the licenses that I hold. We have rehabilitation license, an education permit, then also have salvage permits, have banding permits, so tons of permits. So you need to have all the expertise to kind of manage all those permits. We have 3 raptors in our program currently. We have 2 red-tailed hawks, Hercules 2 and Hercules 3. Hercules 2 is a female red-tailed hawk. She's a dark morph color. She's almost completely black. And then her brother actually is Hercules 3, and he's an intermediate form of red tails. Red tails come in all different types of colors, from very light, almost white birds to completely black, like Hercules 2. So these 2 are one of these guys. Hercules 2 has an injured eye, and that's because she was bred in captivity by first-time parents, and one of the parents stepped on her eye and injured the eye, so she came to us and will be staying here for a while. We also have a peregrine falcon named Tiger Hawk. So Tiger Hawk, people ask, why is a falcon a hawk? So a peregrine falcon in the past used to be called a duck hawk. So really, all falcons are still hawks, but not all hawks are falcons. So.
Kinnick Stadium and Duke Slater Field, where this afternoon Iowa and Indiana meet as ranked opponents for the first time in 30 years. And for the first time in almost 2 seasons, this grand old building will have 70,000 screaming Hawkeye fans in its seats or standing, anxious to dance once again to Back in Black. It was November 23rd of 2019. Iowa beat Illinois here at Kinnick Stadium 19-10. That was 652 days ago. And we have not heard noise like this since then. This is the crystal clear short definition of what home field advantage is, one of the great venues and noise holding buildings in all of college football.
The Heartland is brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and Iowa Corn Promotion Board. You may think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
And the season is underway at Kinnick. Charlie Jones takes it 2 yards deep. He's going to bring it out. Heads to the middle of the field. Good blocking. Gets the corner turn. 20, 25, 30. Out of bounds at the 33-yard line. So the Hawkeyes look at second and long for the first time. They go with a quick snap. Around the corner, Goodson. First down. Midfield. He's got nobody in front of him. He's going to take it to the end zone. It's a touchdown, Iowa. Touchdown, Iowa. I got to believe the Hoosiers were blitzing. No flags. Iowa Iowa scores first and scores quick. Touchdown, Iowa. Tyler Goodson gets his season off with a boom.
What great blocking, and he jumped outside, and his speed is incredible. That safety had an angle on him, and he just outran it.
Petrus saw something because he jumped up there, and they did a quick snap. Just a brief huddle up, and they raced to the line of scrimmage, and they caught the Hoosiers flat-footed. Third down and almost 7. Penix changing the play over this screaming Iowa crowd. Here it is. Penix to throw. Lobs it to the short man. It's picked off. Intercepted. In and out of the hands. And heading to the end zone. That's a touchdown. Touchdown, Iowa. Touchdown, Riley Moss. He had a pick 6 a year ago. He's got one early this year.
Oh, right off the hands, Riley Moss, who does really tight coverage because he comes up to tackle. What a start. Oh, man.
Ankeny, Iowa, stand up and take a bow. This guy is a football player, as Ed Podolak likes to say. I mean, Kerner made the first big play of the day on first down, and Moss comes up and finishes the drive going the other way. And the Hawks have blown out to a 14-0 lead with 12:45 to go. Here's Petrus in the pistol. Indiana blitzing. Petrus throws. It is caught by Laporta down at the Hoosier 32, a gain of 16.
Now, do you see how much more touch Petrus has of the ball this year?
Hawks face 4th and a little more than 2 at the Hoosier 15. They're going to go for it. Here's Petrus. Rolls out right, fires, caught at the 15, and flung forward for the first down is Charlie Jones. Why not go to old reliable Charlie Jones?
He made that with the last spin of his body. He picked up the extra yard he needed for the first down.
You know, Jawan Burgess, the safety, looked like a hula hoop around Charlie Jones' waist. Second down, 6. Hawks in the Case IH red zone at the 9. Petrus on a quarterback draw. Touchdown! Touchdown, Iowa! He wears number 7. He was running like Mickey Mantle across center field there as Petrus gives Iowa a 20-3 lead on a 9-yard touchdown run, and the Red Sea of Indiana parted. Here's Goodson. Juke stepping inside for a couple now.
Ball's
There's a
out.
scramble for the ball. Apparently it came free. Indiana saying they have it.
And so's the
And they do.
officials.
They do. Indiana has turned Iowa over, and the Hawks send the defense back onto the field. 5 receivers, 3 by 2. Hawks show blitz. Now back off. Penix throws to the near sideline. Picked off and going the other way. Bye-bye, baby. Touchdown, Iowa. Touchdown, Riley Moss. He's got the daily double. Listen to this crowd now. 55 yards.
You know, when he was interviewed this week, Dolph, he said, I love to play that press coverage. I love to go up and take that receiver on in press coverage.
Unbelievable. Riley Moss. And he sniffed that all the way. Indeed, Indiana going with a hurry up. Penix looks down the field. Now he's scrambling to his right. Being chased from behind, gets rid of it. Picked off again! This time by Dane Belton. And Joe Evans forced that turnover because he was ready to latch on to Penix. And why he didn't throw it out of bounds, I don't know, but Penix is really unraveled right now by that Iowa defense.
Because I'm going to tell you, even if he'd have completed that, it'd been for a 4-yard gain.
Near There's a pass over the middle, caught. What a throw. What a catch by Laporta. 3rd down and 10. They're blitzing. Petrus dumps it up. Screen play. Goodson. He's at the 20, 15. First down at the 7-yard line. Here's the kick. Plenty of leg. Right through the uprights. Attaboy. Caleb Shudak gives Iowa a 31-3 lead on the Hoosiers at halftime.
The Heartland is brought to you by Hy-Vee, the official grocery partner of Iowa Hawkeye football. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. And by the University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives.
This is a high-octane, quick-scoring offense, though, that Indiana has. So the Hawks need to keep the foot on the accelerator. The Hawks try and shut the door again on Penix and the Hoosiers. Freifogel's out wide right. Carr goes in motion. He's looking for Freifogel. Freifogel now is botched up, and there's a sack. Our first of the year, Lucas Van Ness, redshirt freshman from Barrington, Illinois. He's the lone setback. Hawks go double tight. They're going to run right. Laporta trying to throw a block. Goodson hurdles a submarining defensive back. He got about 3 yards with that high hurdle out of the hold of Ryan Gersonde. Here's Spiewak's send back, and it's right through. 34-6 Iowa with 9:52 to go in the game. Nobody expected this dominating performance by the 18th ranked team over the 17th ranked. Today it was all Iowa, though. 34-6.
Good one. Good one. Good job. Oh my God. That's really good. Great job. Good job, guys. Good job. Step up.
Today's broadcast is sponsored by Extreme, powered by Mediacom, the internet preferred by Hawk fans. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless and the official wireless provider of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
So Tiger Hawk is the Iowa logo, which features a peregrine falcon. So that's why we named him Tiger Hawk, to represent and quickly have people understand that, hey, this is that bird. And then Hercules 2 and 3, there was a Hercules 1 previously that was brought to athletics before, in 30, 40 years ago, I think. And now we're bringing Hercules 2 and 3.
Yeah, so this started back in 1985, 5 years before I came on the scene, with just a vision to work with birds of prey. Originally it was to work with injured birds of prey, and they did rehabilitation, and then to have some birds that couldn't be released to be used for educational programming. And as the years went on, more birds were added to the collection, and each bird has its own story that tells something about the habitat or the needs that these birds need in the wild. So we've been using birds ever since 1985 to tell those conservation stories and to encourage people to do what people were made for, and that's to serve and protect the wild.
So the goal is to, again, really spark action for people to notice birds of prey in Iowa and kind of the challenges that they face here in Iowa, and that there's things that they can do. I really would like to tear down these old mews, these old bird enclosures that we have, and build new bird exhibits that will make it easier for us to take care of the raptors and improve the lives of the raptors here already. So that's one of the things that we're hoping to gain funding and stuff for that.
We're looking forward to it, as we'll be able to reach a very wide variety of Iowans, some of which may have heard about raptors before and heard about the land ethics surrounding that leads to the conservation of raptors, and some of them have not. So this allows us and gives us an opportunity to reach those subpopulations that would normally not be at the Raptor Project to hear about all these things.
There are so many people who are unaware of the wild areas that we have still left here in Iowa. Iowa was an amazing state pre-settlement. Obviously, indigenous people lived here for thousands of years before European settlement. So what I'm excited about is maybe using this as an opportunity to get people to re-engage with what's wild out there, and to not only be excited about these particular raptors and these particular species, but then all the things these birds represent. They're kind of icons that tell stories of what the needs are in the environment. So hopefully the folks that enjoy the birds that we have here, yes, that they enjoy the birds, yes, they want to conserve raptors, but then they realize that raptors are just the tip of the iceberg of all the things that the environment needs to thrive.
The Heartland is brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and Iowa Corn Promotion Board. You may think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. And by Athletico Physical Therapy. It all starts here.
And I saw the quarterback before the snap kind of looking down the boundary, so I knew something was up, and number one ended up running, the quick out, and I was kind of sitting over top of it, able to make the tackle if he threw it, and he did throw it, and I was just kind of in the right place at the right time, and the ball popped up off the receiver, and I grabbed it and took it back, and it just happened so quick that I didn't realize what happened until, I was on the bench. I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy. I came down with that, and it was fun, celebrating with my teammates and stuff, so. I was just kind of sitting back and reading the quarterback, and he turned his shoulders like now, so I broke on it, and that was a quick three-step read, and made a play on the ball and ran it back. So it was a pretty easy read, and I just trusted my instincts, and that also happened very fast too. So but it was a good feeling after the game, and celebrating with my teammates, and doing my part for the victory.
From pre-snap, I had seen that they had both safeties rotated to the field and just left the corner by himself in the boundary. So it was all about the guys up front getting to their assignments and Laporte getting on the corner, and that's what they did. And the corner made a bad decision of going inside instead of keeping it contained. So once he cut down on Sam, I just went to the outside and broke free.
The touchdown was a quarterback draw. It was called. We practiced it all week. We knew if we got down in the red zone, there was a chance that they would play a coverage that was really advantageous for a quarterback draw. So, it was about the really good call by Coach Brian. Really well executed up front by the lineman, and then Tyler Goodson going in there and blocking a linebacker, and the rest is easy. Just got to run forward and get in the end zone.
I got hurt 2019, so I wasn't able to make the trip. So this is my first time, starting on the defense, playing Iowa State, and I grew up in Ankeny, which is 15 minutes from Ames. So most of, my friends and their families and stuff are Iowa State fans, and they're rooting for me, But it'll be nice to, go up there, and because I've always, disliked Iowa State, just growing up an Iowa fan, So, I'm excited to, go up there and finally play against the Cyclones and play against some of my buddies who play for Iowa State. So it's going to be exciting for sure.
This has been a presentation from Learfield,